Hey guys, this is Miriam at High Life Auto. I am out doing a video test drive on a 2011 GMC Terrain. If you've never been on my video test drives before, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic, and this is not meant to be a 182-point inspection. Rather, this is meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we're going along. So take a look around the vehicle, we'll take a look under the hood, and then we'll go for a drive. And this one is all the ones we got at the auction last night. They're kind of on the cheaper end because they all need some love. They all need some level of repair, whether it's a little bit of repair or a lot of bit of repair. And most of them, I don't know what that is. So this one, the auction said rusty frame. It's got a check engine light on, TPMS light. I don't think the TPMS light is on anymore because I put air in the tires. And they said it's got an engine noise and a suspension noise. So we'll take a look at all those things. We'll take a look at everything else, and we'll go from there. So pop the hood, and here we go. 2011 GMC Terrain. Not a bad looking body. It's the Equinox, Acadia. It's that same thing. It's just the square body style of it. SLT version, so I think it's just cloth. Nothing super fancy or special. Tires are probably right about the wheel bars, so 25% on the rear and right about the same on the front. Oh, it is leather. Okay, so it's got the leather, regular wear and tear that you're going to get. But other than that, not horrible looking. It's got the sunroof, which we'll check out when we get inside. And you can see it's got some rust on the rockers. That's pretty typical. We'll get underneath it and check too. Whenever the auction says rusty frame, I want to get underneath and check and see what it says. So this is the all-wheel drive version, and it does have an automatic rear hatch. You can press that button and it pops right open. You've got a storage room in the back. And then on this side, so it's pretty decent looking as far as dents, dings, that kind of thing. The other side has got a little bit of rust on the rockers, but this side not so much. And even up here it looks pretty decent. So here's the engine noise that they were talking about. It did start right up. It sounds like it's running good, but it does have that tapping. What sounds to me like a lifter tick type noise. Okay, we're gonna get underneath it. We're gonna get under on both sides. They said suspension noise and they said frame rust, so I'm gonna kind of see what I get under there. So you've got your rockers. That's typical. That's Midwest stuff. You always have rusty rockers because we live in the Midwest. More what I worry about, not even worry about, but just what I look at as something that could potentially need to be fixed is other issues, and I don't think I see anything on this side. Obviously, you guys, I'm limited in what I can see when I'm on the ground with the camera 2 inches from the frame. So I always recommend that you get on the ground, and I know it sucks because I'm almost 40 years old and I'm doing it, but I always recommend that you get on the ground and you do this as well anytime you're checking out a vehicle, but especially anytime an auction says frame rust. They do it a whole lot more often than they used to, just because I don't know why. They just kind of started doing it, and they put frame rust for rusty rockers. They put frame rust for holes in the frame. They put frame rust for everything. And so I usually check it out and just kind of see what we've got. So again, you've got rusty rockers. Move my phone, and there's not much to them. So when you're lifting, you got to be lifting at another point. But see right there, I think that's still your rocker, but there I think is probably your worst part right there. And that is, what is that? Let me get under there. So it's one of the Here's your frame rail right here. And then here's these connecting pieces. Sorry, I'm turning my phone all over the place. Here's these connecting pieces that are welded on there. And it looks like one of these connecting pieces, from what I can see, is kind of rusted. So, I don't know the logistics of, but it also looks like there is suspension attached right there. So that would probably be your suspension noise. My guess is that's the rear trailing arm. That's what we had on another one that was rusty. So there are repairs for that, but it is not a repair for Joe Blow who doesn't know anything about cars. So if you're still with me, if that's still something you want to undertake, then we'll get in the car and we'll see what else we've got. So, for the rest of you who are staying with me, let's continue. Wow, this is gonna be a long video because we're already 6 minutes in. Okay, so on the dash we have 254,000 miles. Like I said, the auction said there was some check engine lights. I cleared them because I want to see what comes back after the test drive. If there's nothing back this time, but there are when you come to test drive it, we will pull the codes. We have no problem with that. But they said that there were some check engine lights, so we'll see what that does. So radio works. Let's see, I'm gonna turn on the air conditioning. Oh, we've got heated seats too. Okay, so we'll turn on the air conditioning and the heated seats and we'll see how that does. We'll do our windows. Driver's side window works. Passenger side window works. Rear passenger side window works. Rear driver's side window works. And up here we've got that button. Okay, so the vent works, but the window does not. But the window does not. Oh, wait, no, it's opening. Okay, so sunroof works. You just gotta be smarter than me because they've got all kinds of. Oh wait, no, that's the back hatch. So you can open the back hatch. You can either turn off the automatic opening, or you can have it open just like 3/4 of the way, or you can open it all the way. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna say air conditioning, it works. It's working pretty decent. Heated seat, it also works, at least on my side. I'm assuming it works on the passenger side because it all lights up. And we are going to, I'm gonna move my seat forward so I can reach the pedals, and we're gonna go for a drive. I'm going to turn off the fan just so that I can hear. Since they said that there was suspension noise, I want to hear what kind of suspension noise we are talking about. So, I think the Terrains are the 4 cylinders. I could be wrong, but I think the Terrains were the 4 cylinders and the Acadias were the 6 cylinders. So these won't have as much power, but otherwise it's essentially the same. It's your mid-size SUV. driving pretty decent despite the fact that those tires don't have much tread. They're fairly smooth. And I don't hear excessive suspension noise. This is a fairly smooth highway. So most of the time, unless the suspension is really bad, I don't hear it on here. I did hear on the bump right there. Let's see. Yeah, I think I heard it on the rear driver's side, which is where we saw that compromised suspension back there. Left turn signal works. Right turn signal works. Windshield wipers and wiper fluid works. It accelerates well. I think it's time for an oil change. I think there's a sticker up here that says 250, 558, and we're at 254. I did check the fluids. I usually check them and top them off when they need topped off. So it is dark, but it's not, it's not horrible. So, but it is time for an oil change. I'm gonna check our cruise and see if it works. We've got our cruise set at 48 miles an hour, so that works as well. And our brakes are good and solid, no grinding, no vibration, but you do hear that squeaking from that suspension behind me when I do put on the brakes. Brakes work just fine, you just do hear that suspension. So, overall, pretty good looking mid-size SUV. Needs some work, needs some repair work on the frame, needs some, potentially if those check engine lights come back on, needs some repair work on that. Right now they're not on. It seems to be driving well, but you can see when I open the hood, you can see that it does run a little bit rough. You've got that engine noise on there, so it does need a little bit of repair work. It seems to be driving well. It's shifting through all the gears. It's got good acceleration. Tires are not the greatest, but even if you needed, even if you needed a parts vehicle for your terrain or something like this one I think is going to be cheap enough that it would be worth buying as a parts vehicle to use that way. So, I don't know. This is my first time in it. I haven't really done a whole lot of digging into it, but it is going to take a little bit of something. So, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them at me. I will see what I can do to answer them for you. And that's all I got. Thanks, guys.